Welcome everyone and welcome to All In, All United.
Remember the comment he made?
I got some bars to these.
Run Ryan.
Ryan.
And here's the thing, you have players out there.
I think the fellas were taking more serious.
No way. What grade?
That one had to go.
Yes, because at the end of the day, right now Manchester United are
Welcome fellas, welcome everyone and welcome to All In, All United. First and foremost, guys, we have to, recognize and big up the ladies and them.
Correct,
Yeah. Congratulations to Manchester United women's team for winning the WFA Cup. They mash up all of them mash up Spurs today. You understand? I think the under 18s did their job, and the females came out and they made us proud today, cupping a trophy. In a very tough season for the senior male team. So we want to recognize them. Big up, ladies. Well done. On to the guys. Another loss, and I mean we wasn't surprised. And it reached the point, fellas, where it just, like, meh, no, no emotion, nothing. You have to know how we just waiting for the season to done so we could put 2023, 2024 behind us. And as Phil, always been saying, roll on 2024, 25 season, So it is where it is. We here. We close to the finish line, even though we might be running and finishing 8th or 9th or wherever. The finish line close. We just want to get us behind we. But what is saying, fellas? Oh, and before y'all jump in, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers who committed to the task and doing it out there. Go through.
Yeah, sorry.
Go ahead, Phil.
No, yeah. I was watching some of the highlights for the women's game today, and it was a worldie. That was the opening goal by Ella Toon. Really, really good goal. And yeah, man. As Reem said, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers holding it down for the children, or the motherly figures out there. With regards to today's game, it was that game could have ended 0-0. Let's be honest, but it's all about the communication with the defense and Casemiro being out of position and Johnny Evans also providing the escort service. But I mean, yeah, that game could have easily been 0-0 today, right? But I'll give my full analysis later on in the podcast.
Yeah. Again, we celebrating the women's, the under 18s. This as Man United fans, as much as we into the senior team, it still has some cheer around the club, right? I know that Sir Jim Ratcliffe got some stick, today with attending. I think he reached to the United Carrington or Old Trafford about 5 hours before the game, and wasn't at the women's final. I think he was getting some stick with that on social media. But again, I think he trying to deal with where the problem really is now. And we know where the biggest problem is, and what I mean, and I don't get me wrong, to be honest, So again, today was nothing that wasn't expected. It was just the same thing. This had a different day. Yeah.
Yeah, good night, everybody. And happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. The game today was actually a surprise to me because I was expecting a blowout. So I think we actually performed a lot better than expected. So It wasn't as hard to watch the game as I thought it would have been, because I really thought Arsenal was coming out and give us a little trash in it. But I think the nerves in the Arsenal players, it was there. The Arsenal didn't really play their game today. From how I watch Arsenal play this season, they didn't play the brand that the way they usually come at a team. They didn't do it today. So you saw the nerves in them, and I think that benefit us where we could have get to play a little more football because of it.
Yeah, yeah, and I think I'm glad JP, you went there because I think that is where I wanted to start it off, because I wanted to get all your thoughts on, how you all saw the game. Was it that because we saw, as you were saying, JP, this is not how we were expecting the game to be, especially after, the performance against Crystal Palace. And not much change in terms of the player availability going up against an informed Arsenal. We were kind of preparing for a thrashing, right? So is it, fellas, that sometimes when you're so close to the finish line, and I will never forget what Brian Lara said, as he was getting closer to the 375, he started to get, mentally and even physically weaker. So it was harder as he got closer to passing the what the record was. So is it that, at this point where just one game away, Arteta possibly overthinking it, he didn't want to risk anything. It was just about getting the goal and trying to manage out the game, right? So if that is the case, was it really that we imposed ourselves on the game in terms of the kind of possession we were seeing, or was it that just Arsenal was managing the game better and perhaps didn't want to risk anything more? How will I saw it? Was it really that we were pleased with, was it us or was it Arsenal?
I think.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I think Garnacho and Hoyland were wasteful today. Arsenal did not get out of second gear today, but at the end of the day, we can have all the possession in the world, but you got to convert that possession, right? I think there was too much individualism today, right? There were moments from Ahmad that were really good. There were moments from Amrabat that was also good as well. But I think the likes of Hoyland and Garnacho they could have made better decisions, right? At the end of the day, one thing I realized Garnacho does is that Garnacho shields the ball okay from an opposition player, but he has no idea where the ball is. Not Garnacho, sorry, Hoyland. Hoyland shields the ball well from an
You
opposition.
find so? You find
Wait,
so? Okay.
Wait, let me finish.
Uh-huh.
Hoyland shields the ball okay versus an opposition centre back, but he does not know where the ball is.
Okay.
When
Okay.
the idea of you using your strength is okay, but it's just all part of football. You must also be able to put one foot on the ball and stop the opposition centre back from getting that ball from you. There are many times over the course of this season where Hoyland was shielding the ball and opposition centre backs were able to nick the ball off of him, and that was it. Garnacho, on the other hand, too much individualism. Garnacho was receiving the ball, and there were times there were times where he was right to take a shot, but there were times where he could have fed it across the box or look up and then feed it across the box, right? And there were many times it was just a waste. We were good in the center of the park. We were good in defense, but that front three had high question marks, right? As JP said, Arsenal there weren't any standout. Maybe the Gabriel Martinelli shot that had Onana made the save. But other than that, I can't think of any other standout points of this game where Arsenal were tremendous or Arsenal were like doing their thing, or Arsenal were like playing really good Arteta ball compared to like how they were playing this season. No, this game could have easily ended 0-0, but it was a mistake due to us. You know, Casemiro not being ideally a center back. You know, obviously when the ball is cleared, like you're taught how to like walk with your defense, right? But I must also put some blame on Johnny Evans as well, too, right? Look, at the end of the day, most of us thought like after the 4-0 Crystal Palace bashing that Arsenal would have put at least a good 4, 5, or 6 in us, right? But today wasn't that day. Still a loss, but we move on.
Yeah. For me, I started to watch the game later earlier. But I was following on my phone and I looking at the scoreline on my phone. 20 minutes till 0-0. I said, what? But what minute was the score? It was 33 or something like that.
Boy, I can't remember, boy.
Yeah, but I was expecting Arsenal to score earlier than it did, you know. And I came in and then I started to look at the game in the second half. And as you all rightly said, Arsenal didn't look that impressive to me. You know, when I came in, I saw Garnacho got a chance where was he alone more or less cutting, you know, and blazed wide. And I like, nah, at this level, you can't get that kind of chance free as a bird just outside the and not even test the keeper.
Yeah.
You know? And to me that when I saw that, like, nah, you know, nah, we letting Arsenal off the hook. I know history was against Arsenal as well at Old Trafford. I know at Old Trafford, we normally very solid against Arsenal. So I don't know if that was playing on Arsenal mind coming to Old Trafford, knowing the history that United could be how poor. You know that when playing Arsenal at home, we'll always pull out something. So to me, Arsenal play within themselves for sure. What Phil was talking about Højlund, that has been irritating me for the entire season.
Yeah.
He is the first center forward for United that I have seen lost the ball so easily while trying to screen it. It's irritating.
Yeah, it is.
So I really hope that is something that they could work on in the summer for him to really hold up that ball, because sometimes it looks like a no-brainer for him to screen that ball and boom, the defender get a touch on that ball and the ball gone. And we in a promising position. And that happened today a few times as well. So that is definitely something that has to improve. And I think looking at the game that I saw, looking at that game, I really felt like we have believed in ourselves that we are underdog team. And why I say that, why I say that is this. When we expected to win, we play crap. Right? But when we expected to lose, for some reason we step up. And that was underdog teams as Zuna. And we believe that we're not good. We believe that we're not good. And that is what happening right now. So I think that's where we are. That's where we are. We believe in ourselves. We're not good. Arsenal come to trash us, so we have to step up. Against Crystal Palace, well, it's Crystal Palace. I know we're supposed to win, and we don't know we don't know how to do it now. So I think it's a lot of mental, it's a mental hurdle as well that we had a cross to really believe that we are elite and superior team. I think we're lacking that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was an interesting take, I mean, it kind of... Anyway, go to JP.
No, Nico bring a perspective there, boy, because that come like when a Luton come to play us.
Exactly.
They seen us as the big team.
Exactly.
So now we are on the level of like a Luton where we turn up for big games, but then the teams are expecting us to play well against we not.
Yeah.
There's a fresh perspective there, and
Mm-hmm.
it kind of hit me for 60 in a way because it's true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
yeah,
so
yeah.
we kind of go into
Mm.
a real small team mentality now, and
Actually,
that
yeah.
is a frightening thing when you thinking mentality of a team. So
Yeah.
that we could only turn up for big games, but when it matters with the teams that are around us now, we can't do it. But yeah, I mean to go back to the point with who in terms of if it was Arsenal or us, I think it's a combination too, because the Amrabat in the midfield was good today. He was good today, and I think he and Kobe had a nice game in the midfield. And I know how our midfield could really change our team play. And if Garnacho and Hoyland were better today, we could actually probably get a result out of this game because I was just looking at the analysis after with Michael and them talking about the game and they're showing you the predictability of Garnacho. And that is something that he definitely has to work on. And I know we're asking a lot of a young player, and I think this is sometimes where it's unfair to a player who's still going through that development stage in the career to rely on them as your source of providing something in your team. Garnacho still at a stage where he's supposed to be developing. He could start some games, he could come off the bench in some games and be an impact player. And will it turn out that Hoyland is probably the same thing as well right now too. So these players, we asking to do the business for us, not ready to do the business for us. So they have a lot of their game that they still need to work on and develop to become the finished product. So we working with a team of potential right now and with a lot of young players who up and coming. And if you want like a properly balanced squad, you always have to add in the senior experienced players who've been there and done it to the squad to bring those players to the next level too and at the same time to actually win games. Because these young fellas still learning the trade and we relying on them.
Yeah.
Arsenal now too, I think they really just it was nerves. It was nerves because somebody passes Odegaard giving away the ball the way he was. You didn't really see somebody incisive passing that you get from Arsenal team as well. It was just something about it that playing after City knowing that they have to win this game. It's still Old Trafford, you know United going to turn up. It had some nerves in them there, but at the end of the day, they get their goal, they get the 3 points, and the possibility of still winning the Premier League title. So they do their business. And I don't think we provided any kind of real threat to say that they would have felt like the game was getting away from them. Yes, we had some moments in the game, um, but I feel like for the most part, they had it under control. And especially when you have the best centre back playing in the league, I think that is without a doubt that Gabriel Saliba partnership is something that really build a foundation for this Arsenal team. And as much as we talk about City as being the benchmark, it have plenty we could take from this Arsenal team and the way they build and how they play their football too. And that I think is something that people have to watch as well. As much as they might have Arsenal partners who you can't take and the second and whatever, you still get Jackie Jackets. And the Arsenal team is a properly coached team. When they're attacking together. When they're defending together. So I think that is the kind of things I want to see from a United team going forward. I don't want to see men who putting their head down and jogging back and walking back. Saka be in the box, cleaning away, making tackles, putting pressure on players. Everybody doing the job in the team, for the team. And that's what we need to see in a United team going forward.
Yeah, yeah. Um, you know, I would have been interested to see if we didn't concede so early, how the game would have played out, because the pressure was on Arsenal more than it was on us. And I think we kind of gave up the game when we conceded so early now. because it was in 20th minute, Nico, when we conceded our goal, the 20th minute, right? We conceded our goal so early that we allowed Arsenal to not need Phil to come out of second gear. You understand? And just manage out the game, because we have not proved over the last couple of games or a couple of games well that we can break down a proper setup defensively. You understand? So I think Arsenal was comfortable in how they set up to see out the game. They already got the goal. It was just to protect that lead and try to add to it if the opportunity presented itself. But they were content with 1-0, just get the job done. And I think that would have been the instructions from Arteta. We're not going to try to blow up Manchester United away here. The more important thing was just leaving here with 3 points to keep the pressure on City. And I think that is what happened. So all that possession we would have seen, yes, I know Amrabat being there, may have, made a difference. But I don't think I have enough to judge that. Perhaps if we did take Arsenal into the second half at 0-0, where Arsenal needed to go for it, and we still maintain that kind of possession and that kind of domination on the game, then I might have a different perspective on who was really in charge. Because Mourinho does always say, you can have the ball, but you don't necessarily be in charge. You understand what I'm saying? So that's how I see it. Arteta and Arsenal get the goal early that we gave them by our carelessness again, right? And next cut back. But we will get to that. Let me just get some comments, guys, right? Kristen on the inside, good night, man. Thanks for joining. Saying I find Amrabat was kind of solid and he never get much starts, only came off the bench. Amrabat was pretty good, right? Satellite Lee on the inside, good night. Thanks for joining, man. Kristen also saying here, I think the wingers would look better with a better forward because Højlund does look so lost. Most of Garnacho assists were to McTominay, right? And I think with this, the reason why it would have been for McTominay is because Højlund does be occupying a lot of defenders. So when McTominay come in, he available, he free. You understand? So that is why. But I don't disagree with the point that Phil and Nico make about Højlund. Right? Today's loss didn't really hurt me because I was expecting it, but I also prefer Arsenal to win the league than City.
You know not me. I got City with.
Nah.
Any.
I really don't want City get 4 in a row now because we never do that. So you got so City gonna do something we never do. You're already in trouble.
We got different perspectives on this here, and if you are, let's be real. City doing the treble did not cause much stir on social media. Literally nobody cared. There were so many other irrelevant scenarios and events that went on social media that had more traction than City winning the treble, right? I know no Manchester City fans, but you see if this team called Arsenal wins the title in their first title in 20 years, you might as well stay off of social media. Might as well, because they are going to find you. They are going to have parades all over. Yes, I do understand you don't want City to win 4 in a row because Manchester United hasn't done it. But at the end of the day, we also had to depend on Inter Milan from stopping City from winning the treble. And City won the treble. And after a day or two, I was like, okay, whatever. It is what it is, right? I can be straight up. If City do 4, I really don't care. But if Arsenal bottles it again, they came so close, but they never, the amount of rival fans that will go into their skin. Yeah. And I will be there for it up front and center.
I was feeling this one. Think
about it this way as well, too. Think about it this way. Mm-hmm. If we win the FA Cup and Arsenal come second, oh my God. the meltdown that Arsenal fans would have because we won a trophy. 2 trophies in 2 seasons. Arsenal, 0 trophies in 2 seasons. The meltdown that Arsenal fans will have. And I would just stick it to them. I would ask Arsenal fans, who had the better season? Me or you? But anyway, that was a discussion for another time though. So
Nah, bring it on because you're convincing me. I was kind of on JP Bolton. I didn't want, but then again, I remember the 115 charges. Chances that could come and clear that slate. No trophies, no 4-peat in it.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but it's like it's from a footballing perspective too. I watch it like in terms of the building of something. So forget the fans. But like with Man City, what I always hate with a team is when they buy the success. So for Arsenal, you see where they build something. Everybody was laughing at Arteta when he wasn't performing well, whatever. But you actually see the progress of our football team with making proper buys and proper positions, and not just because you had to spend 100 on something on Rice, but Rice more than worth that money. So that was a great buy that I made. People was like, Havertz is nothing. Well, they're buying Havertz. We buy the wrong man from Chelsea as far as it's looking right now because Havertz going there and doing his thing, right? So from a footballing perspective, I look at it that way too. Like, I respect what Arsenal do over the last few years to build to get to where they are. So
but not to win a title. We're not to win a title. Not to win a title. Hey, I respect all how. Not to win a title.
I know the fans sickening, but whatever. Yeah. They will make the noise for a little while and they'll be happy, but City still win our 4 in a row.
A little while.
A little while by JP boy.
I am
boy.
They're on to next season, boy.
You can't catch yourself, boy. You can't catch yourself, boy. I'm telling you.
I'm gonna continue with the comments here, right? So Kristen prefer Arsenal win than City, right? So he and JP on the same boat. Simeon saying here Garnacho ain't level up yet in attack. I think Rashford without the shot power and accuracy. Alright. Aaron on the inside, good night to you, man. Thanks for joining. Saying only 1-0. Arsenal deserve to lose the title. But again, they get the job done. It was all about the 3 points, not the goal difference, right? Simeon saying here, Garnacho has decided he will be the scoring winger without leveling up his finishing. That will hurt a team. I just expect the basics from Rasmus. I demand that at least. Alright? And Kristen saying here, exactly, I don't want City to win 4 in a row because we never do it. We can't have Pep attaining everything and more than what Sir Alex Ferguson did. Yeah.
I don't care what Pep Guardiola wins from now. He will never be considered better than Sir Alex Ferguson. There's so many factors that go into being one top 10 managers of all time. Pep Guardiola is his top 10. Who is better than Pep Guardiola? Sir Alex Ferguson, Carlo Ancelotti. There is a shout for Jose Mourinho, but that's a discussion we will get into on another time. But yeah, Pep Guardiola. I think most people have recognized that Pep Guardiola needs a sugar daddy or a team that is already on top of that league to win. Let's put it that way, right? Pep Guardiola is scheduled to leave Manchester City at the end of next season. Where is he going to go? You got to ask that question. If he goes to France, you know he only going to PSG. You know that already, right? If he goes to Spain, well, he probably will go back to Barcelona, but Barcelona aren't doing that well, right? So at the end of the day, Pep Guardiola, great manager, but definitely not better than Carlo Ancelotti. Definitely not better than Sir Alex Ferguson. And I'm willing to discuss with anybody in the comments, anybody on this panel, with regards to Pep Guardiola versus Sir Alex Ferguson. We can have a discussion. You put forward your points, I put forward mine. And we'll let everybody else decide, right? So
And as you mentioned Ancelotti there, I would argue with you, but you see after Ancelotti went Everton and had Everton
Yeah,
playing a kind of football,
yeah,
that gave me a
yeah.
different respect for Ancelotti, you know.
Yep.
You understand? Before that, I was like, yeah, Ancelotti, alright, he was always with big teams, whatever. But that man went Everton,
And
and
they
that
were
man had that
balling.
team playing a kind of way, beating big teams. You understand? So, massive respect to Ancelotti, man. Yeah.
also Ancelotti has won the league with whatever with so Ancelotti has won the league in all of the respective leagues he's played in. Sir Alex Ferguson has won the Champions League with all the teams he has managed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Um, so I know the barrel low, eh? The barrel low. So we kind of come to terms with where we at. But what are the positives we could take from today? You know, performance wise, individuals. Because I mean, when you consider 4-0 and we were dominated, we didn't look good. Could have burned down the whole team, and then we kind of. I know we had a discussion as to why the score was probably 1-0 today, right? But then you look at who Arsenal are and what the result was. What positives we could take from today?
I think definitely a positive is again for me is Kobe Mino, right? Um, from what I saw in the middle of the field from Kobe today, the maturity on the ball, the fearlessness, with players coming at him and coming out of it composed. I think that for me, is a positive. I think Dallo again today was a positive for me. Onana, to me, he continues to grow, into form. I think he is a positive for me. I think even Ahmad performance, show that he deserves to start ahead of Anthony, right? Without a doubt, and I hope that today was just a flash in the pan um from the manager, and he really, he put him there because he really deserved to be there, and we hope that for the rest of the season, we see him in that position. I think that was the positive for me today. I think also that as much as the team would have faltered badly at Palace, I think we still responded with a bit of grit, today. I know about the underdog mentality. We talk about that, but we still responded, not wanted to be beaten, as badly as I think that's a positive. That's a positive, and to me, watching the team play, I still have confidence in Ten Hag Walia, to be honest. I still have confidence that Ten Hag could turn it around. But again, if you move on, you move on. But for some reason, he just filled me with hope. But yeah, so that my positives. Yeah.
yeah, just to echo what Nico said. Yeah, Kobe Manu. So I did mention in a football group today, Kobe Manu next to Amrabat. Kobe Manu actually has somebody next to him that is willing to track back. By that I mean when Scott McTominay was next to Kobe Manu, Scott McTominay hardly tracked back. When Casemiro was next to Kobe Manu, Casemiro would put in a tackle and hope for the best, and he would be on the ground. He gets dribbled past, and now Kobe Manu is by himself in a one-man midfield versus 3 or 4 midfielders coming at him. Amrabat today showed that he does not have to go into a tackle um, going on the ground, right? I saw Bukayo Saka running wing and Amrabat was running next to him. Amrabat, shoulder, and sent Bukayo Saka flying. And Bukayo Saka had to react, and look what happened? Follow
Yellow
Amrabat,
card.
yellow card,
Mhm.
right? So I know Ten Hag is not going to follow through with Amrabat signing with us because he wasn't getting that much game time. But we need the same attributes that Amrabat showed today in a player in coming to this Manchester United squad for the 2024-2025 season. Another positive today, Dalot did well. Wan-Bissaka was okay-ish. But yeah, Ahmad definitely showed what he is capable of doing. Will Ahmad get more start come next season? Will Ahmad even be here next season? Will Ahmad be used as a bargaining chip for potentially another right-sided winger come next season? Right? These are all questions that the board will be asking themselves. But yeah, Ahmad, Kobe Manu, definitely Dalot were good positives today. We didn't hold 5 or 6 goals. One Love was good enough. So yeah.
Yeah, what you saying, JP?
Yeah, I mean, I think I agree with everything with Nico and Phil there, and I will just give Amrabat his praises. I feel like we finally get to see the player that we thought we signed. I don't know if maybe he was actually given more opportunities. We might actually have this player available for us quite some time now, and I think that might actually make a big difference to the direction that the season went. Because, as Phil says, saw him today, and even the commentator mentioned this is the Amrabat we saw in the World Cup. The commentator mentioned that today, the way he was getting in between player and ball and doing his job as a defensive mid, and it allowed Kobe the freedom to really play his game. And I think we all kind of agree that Kobe better as that player going forward. So giving him that freedom, having a player like Amrabat to give Kobe that freedom is really something we need in the team. And I really think it's a shame that Amrabat wasn't given the opportunity that some other players got this season who didn't deserve it. Because I don't think Amrabat really did anything this season to say.
Let's call names like JP. Say McTominay now, boy.
McTominay, Anthony, even Anthony.
Anthony
Yeah.
was being played into form. Rashford was being played into form. Yeah, and Rashford is my player. The same thing with him. So
You could use it for Onana too. You could say for Onana too.
in the start, yeah. So these players were given the opportunity, and I think what was real disappointing is how hard we chased Amrabat. So his name was called in the league. We chased him and hard to the point of taking him on a loan. So that is all we could do. And then, we really didn't make use of him. And this could end up being like a situation again where you actually had a decent player in your midfield there who you didn't give a proper opportunity and they leave and they go and show you, well, there's actually a decent player in a bit, didn't give him a chance.
Yeah.
I-
Facts. Good. What you feel? Good.
Oh no, I'll keep it short. I actually would prefer to see Amrabat and Kobe Manu in the midfield versus Manchester City in the final. That's it. So yeah.
Yeah. Positive for me, Ollie, if it's one thing, you see we fan base by, all I hear what them was going on today, they was behind the team,
Yeah.
Even in a leaky stadium, the fans were
I don't even live in England, and I feel so bad for the fans.
that was crazy.
Anybody in the comments, anybody panel, you actually have to see the footage of the stadium.
Yeah, that was crazy, boy.
This is terrible.
You see the clips of the dressing room. Jeez, what is
I didn't
going
see
on
them. I
at
didn't
Old
see them.
Trafford? I was saying to Nico, what is
Yeah.
going on at Old Trafford? It's crazy
That
out there.
waterfall and that waterfall.
I'm telling you.
You coming down the step.
Nah, boy. Radcliffe and them had a walk cut out, we. I'm telling
Yeah.
you. Like the slums of Old Trafford, boy. Trouble is this, boy. But I mean, again, I want to take nothing away from the fans, but the fans really, I mean, it's at other clubs. Manchester City. You know, when things bad, when things good, you see an empty stadium, you're seeing plenty blue seats,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
our fan base have reason to not even show up for games. You
So
understand what I'm saying?
very true.
Yeah, after all these records we quoting have been broken by this team, you're seeing the lack of fight and industry and endeavor from these players. Yet week in, week out, traveling fans, home fans, you see them fellas turning up and supporting this team. Now, listen, massive props to the fans that show up in Old Trafford to support our team and even the traveling fans, week in, week out. Massive support to them, and they were very, very loud today. You know what I'm
So,
saying?
so you think there's also that they supporting the manager as well? That shows that they
I see it as
backing
a
the
support
manager.
of I see it as a support of the manager as well. Because sometimes you know the camera when the manager walking out, like when the game starts and the manager walking out the tunnel, before game and even during halftime, you just see the camera just be on the manager and you
Yeah,
see how
yeah.
the fans just be
Fans
responding
would
to
be
him now.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You understand? So I think Ten Hag, you know, the circumstances surrounding, you know, the team with the injuries and player performances and all that and you know, player power and you see the same thing happening, the cycle that keep happening with managers now. I think a lot of the fan base intelligent and they're aware of that. We know it have the group that will be manager out this that and I mean fair play to everybody, they're entitled to their opinions, you know. But I think sometimes what you hear on social media is not always the opinions of the fans at, in stadium, you know. So yeah, so
Reem,
kudos to go ahead.
remember I sent you a picture today with regards to the matches missed by Manchester United players this season? I sent it to you on WhatsApp. I don't know if you could share that or I could put my phone to the screen. You're muted. You're muted. You're muted.
Okay, yeah, I can put it up. The mark,
Yeah.
I feel.
This will give you an idea of what Ten Hag has had to deal with this season, right? I'll let Reem show it. But yeah, with regards to the fans, um, boy, it takes a type of fan to be with you in the good times, and that same fan to be with you in the bad times, right? And there's a saying there's a saying that was said many years ago when it comes to Manchester United. What it was, win, lose or tie, Manchester United till I die, right? And that's kind of resonated with me for at least a good probably 10 to 15 years right now, right? I remember about 2 or 3 years ago, a guy told me that he went to a Manchester City game, right? And Manchester City fans, when they score, it's almost like a golf tournament. And by that I mean when
It's a
somebody
clap.
when somebody's walking towards like the actual green, it's just like
Yeah,
it's almost like golf tournament. It's almost like a fencing tournament. They're just clapping like this here. There's nobody like getting on bad or
and yeah.
behind the fans or whatever, right? Away days is different. The fans will definitely be rowdy, but during home games, from what he told me, and I was like, nah, that's impossible. And it's only when I started to watch certain Manchester City games at home, the fans just they're like almost like they're expecting it or that it's entitled to them or what's not, right? So I
You
mean,
know, Phil, I don't know if you
yeah,
remember during COVID, you know, they had these screens with the fans who watching virtually. And I remember with City there was duplicating fans.
Yeah.
So
I heard about that. I heard about
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
That's pathetic, man.
yeah. Let me probably start for you, Phil. Go through.
Yeah. So there's why I sent Reem today because this was shown like maybe 5 to 7 minutes before the game started, right? So take a good look at this here, right? Um, and I know Nico did mention something with regards to Lissandro Martinez missing, missing and being like not the glue to this team. I guess that's what Nico was implying. And I guess Reem did have some sort of like rebuttal. But I do see both points of where Nico and Reem were discussing with regards to Lissandro Martinez, right? It seems that Lissandro Martinez could be a future captain for Manchester United should he stay fit. But also, I don't think one player being hurt or being out for long should be the crippling of an entire football team, right?
And you see the two players who missed the most games.
Shaw
I
and
think
Shaw and Martinez, yeah.
And to me, they are a critical facet of how we play. And missing them for so long, I think really crippled us this season.
We better move on from Shaw. It's time to
I
move
agree.
on from-
I agree. We gotta move on from Shaw.
Move on. We definitely got to move on from Shaw. I can't think of any left backs in mind per se to get. If we use Harry Amas from the youth system, then okay, sure.
He ain't be ready. He ain't be ready. He's not ready for this level.
You see,
Pressure.
I don't want
play
to.
for Manchester United. It's too much at that young age.
I don't want to go back there earlier, but
Mhm.
I still have taken that. I ain't taking that. You understand? Because let me tell you something, Crystal Palace, right, was playing without Doucouré. That is the midfield man. That is the bruiser in midfield. And Gehi, how does pronounce the captain name? Gehi?
Gay.
Yeah, Gay. And he wasn't there for how much games? And I did not see that significant drop off in their play. And we're talking about Crystal Palace, and they beat some of the biggest teams without those players in the team. You understand what I'm saying? So Ten Hag has had, and again, let me just preface it by saying I'm not saying Ten Hag out here, but Ten Hag had to do better, right? Because you have had all the other players, bar Martinez and Shaw, available and playing.
But
And
here's
telling
my
me only because we do have two of them, that's why we
here's my question to Nico.
We were top 16. No, we were all of them. We were still top 16.
But here's my question to Nico, right? How would Manchester United know if Kobe Mainoo is ready? How would Manchester United know if our Garnacho is ready? How would Manchester know if Kwambala was ready? Right? You got to take this type of risk in football. You have to.
Yeah,
but it should be the main player. Go ahead, Chip.
Yeah, it shouldn't be for them to be the player in that position at that age, because it could spoil the player. Because right now with Garnacho, if Garnacho continue how he going, he will get spoiled because Garnacho not developing his game.
Well, that show you.
And you see the thing about it, the issue I have with Garnacho is Garnacho not the. I don't want to say he's not developing, but we're not seeing the improvement, right? But
Correct.
Garnacho plays so much football that if you put Garnacho on the bench, Garnacho will get attitude.
Exactly.
You understand?
Because he's a starter now.
Exactly. And I the problem I know he.
That show you how good Kobe Mainoo is then.
No, but
Yeah,
even
he's
Kobe
not
Mainoo
good.
too, I still feel
Shouldn't.
Kobe Mainoo could not play. And watch me, for me, I see Kobe Mainoo in the same category as Phil Foden. Right? Phil Foden was a baller. And Pep still benching that. That's still a playing, you know?
What Palmer couldn't even make that City team?
Exactly.
I can make another controversial comment right now. I think we should build the team around Kobe Mainoo next season.
See, that is my thing. That he's too young for that kind of pressure.
But here's my thing. And answer me honestly. Does Kobe Mainoo look like he's ever been under pressure this season?
But we don't know we don't know with him. You know what I mean? You gotta put out the weight how much of sense in Kobe Mainoo.
Yeah, it's too much weight, yeah.
But here's the thing now, right? And you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, right? If you are a good midfielder, if you are a terrible midfielder or a midfielder that panics under pressure, opposition midfielders will smell that and look to hustle you quickly. I cannot remember the last time an opposition midfielder from a Big 6 team or a lower club team that has ever looked to hustle Kobe Mainoo.
Let me put this to you, Phil, right? And it's something
Yeah.
me and Nico was talking about earlier this week about the weight of the Manchester United jersey. And when I say weight, I'm talking about, the expectation and then the scrutiny
Yeah.
from the media and everybody. Look, this is Kobe Maino's breakout season. Kobe Maino before this was playing little
Under
boy
21,
football.
yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Kobe Maino didn't go out on no loan and play championship level football. You understand? He came straight from the under 18s to the 21s, however, and he came into the first team. And you don't have some dotish journalists writing how he shouldn't be considered for Euros, carry Wharton from Crystal Palace instead. You understand? I don't understand why he's showing here. So to put Kobe there and this pressure on Kobe as an 18-year-old, I think we're setting the man up for failure.
You think
Right?
so?
Because the expectation of a Manchester United player. You understand? It's almost as though, what the article Nico was saying, is almost as though they want us to fail. They want a player to fail. Right? They're not the critique not normal. You understand what I'm saying? So you telling me a player like Kobe Maino, 18 years, look at what I just said about where he came from. And you don't ready to talk about the player as though he is good and he deserve the praise he gained.
If I had to make a comparison, we gotta go over to Arsenal with the likes of Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka was in the first team since he was 18 years old as well. The guy transitioned from left back to right wing.
But did he have the responsibility? But did he have the responsibility and the weight of carrying the team, Phil?
I think he had to step up because the likes of Aubameyang and Lacazette were falling off. And I think so. Bukayo Saka right now is 21. Bukayo Saka has had the weight of Arsenal on him for the last probably 3 seasons. I think so. 3 seasons. So that means 21. 3 from 21 is what, 19?
I think the expectation at Arsenal is way different.
Different.
Yeah.
I think
How?
it's different.
But Arsenal and Manchester United got the two most
Manchester United
criticizing fan bases
is
in
one of the
EPL.
No,
But not the
Manchester
media,
United
not from the
is the biggest
media.
fan base in the world. Manchester
from the
United
media.
failures. Manchester United
Global.
failures sell papers. Manchester
Yeah.
United failure is what a sell papers.
Which media you talking about? Which media you talking about? Corporate media or social media?
Both, but more so
Both.
corporate.
I would say both.
Yeah.
I would say both.
But I would say Arsenal have had a bigger presence on social media than Manchester United in the last probably 5 to 7 years. They have.
I don't know. It's arguable to me. I think Manchester United fans socially are way superior than any other team in the world.
Oh, by far.
Um,
I would not disagree with you on that. But in terms of a presence, right?
Mhm.
Arsenal fans and Manchester United fans have been the most critical of their team because let's be real, Nico. You went from seeing a rivalry of Patrick Vieira, Roy Keane, Thierry Henry, Ruud van Nistelrooy, David Beckham, Freddie Ljungberg. You have gone from that to where we are now. By we, I mean Manchester United fans and Arsenal fans as well too, right? The level of expectation that has been, I don't want to use entitled, but the level of expectation that we've seen over the last 20 plus years, right? Under Sir Alex Ferguson and Arsene Wenger, we want those days back, right?
Yeah.
So anything the manager does, whether it be Arteta, Ten Hag, back in the day, Van Gaal, Ralph Ragnick, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, even across to Arsenal where they had Mr. Good Evening and what's not, right? At the end of the day, the slightest hiccup, the fans are coming with the pitchforks and the flamethrowers, right?
I think, honestly, right? Arsenal fans have an unmerited expectation of their
Correct.
team.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Correct.
saying?
Yeah.
Because them never win nothing really, you know.
Correct.
Yes, they had the unbeaten season.
Dominant, like how
Yeah.
we were a dominant force. Like
And we were
every other
winning
year, we
things.
were winning our title. We had the title.
It's,
so
I
prove it.
call it unnecessary entitlement.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so I don't know if you all ever realize, right? every time the season started, maybe not for the last couple of seasons, but United are always like a favorite.
You think so?
So, but most of the time, yes, and we have fun. We used to say, well, but how do you put we up there? Because we know we're not nowhere close, but they always put us up there. But you know why? It's because when we failing, right? It would say that, hey, this is where they're supposed to be, and look where they are, right? And that is what does sell. United does sell. So I mean, so again, I can't remember the point we were debating on initially.
Kobe. So right now, I can see,
so,
I can see Kobe Manu going in the same vision as Bukayo Saka, and I'll tell you why. There's certain players you can tell that are always looking to be. You can always tell a player by their attitude, right? Bukayo Saka is very introverted, so is Kobe Manu, right? Bukayo Saka and Kobe Manu understand two things: the color of their skin and the country that they're living in as well, too, when it comes to when certain players do bad, right? And they have a family around them, right? There's certain players at our club that are not guided well, you know. I don't think the likes of Marcus Rashford and maybe Mason Greenwood had like a protective family around them to like, you know, tell them don't do this, don't do that, don't say this, don't say that, right? I think with regards to the likes of Kobe Manu and Bukayo Saka, they actually have like a protective family around them, right? You don't see Bukayo Saka and Kobe Manu taking to social media all the time. You don't, right? And though
Kobe now come out earlier. It had time, eh? It had time to go. It had time to go.
It has time.
We saw Maguire buckle. We saw even this season. We saw Bruno buckle. You know, so we can handle that all yet.
You don't think so? But based on
the
what?
weight of United too heavy. The weight of United too heavy. The
We had to protect that player at all costs. We had to protect that player.
The expectation of Manchester United is too much.
What's your definition of protect per se? I don't want to say I'm confused, but like I'm quite intrigued as to what's your definition of protect, right? Let's say we go forward next season and we make all the signings that we need. Does Kobe Manu still start for Manchester United?
Yeah, he's a key figure in the team.
Right.
You understand? He's a key figure in the team. But it doesn't mean that the team that we have is built to suit Kobe. That's what I mean. Right? So Kobe play or he play, we're not missing Kobe. But when he is there, we see in the quality, we can acknowledge, hey, this is really a big player. And the reason why I say that is only because of his age. And when I say protect, my reference base is always Phil Foden. Right? Back in the day when Mason Greenwood was balling, it was always Mason Greenwood and Phil Foden.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And even after when we had Ole here waxing lyrical and swelling that little boy head, the best finisher at the club, blah, 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 blah. Right? You had changed his number from 26 to 11 after his first season. You have Phil Foden still wearing 47, right? When 10 was available. You know what I'm saying? And Phil Foden was sitting and we was asking why Pepe starting Phil Foden, what going on? Then you'll see Phil Foden get one little patch of game here. He will come on, he will have a man of the match performance, and next game you see Phil Foden on the bench. That is the kind of protection I'm talking about. And how much years after now? Since COVID season 19-20, we're going into 24-25.
Yeah, and David Silva will have left. I think it's David Silva left, man.
And I am only now seeing where Phil Foden is becoming a mainstay in the team.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? But he was showing us that since 1920.
Yeah.
And that's the point I'm making with Kobe Manu.
But with regards to Manchester City, you also got to realize that Manchester City has quality in depth, right? So
and this is what and that's what I'm getting at.
Right.
This is what we need. These are we need.
Because if you look at the recent years with our youth players that come through the system, this is what spoil them. This is what's spoiling our youth players. Rashford is a prime example of a youth player that wasn't allowed to develop properly in the team, and that's why I'm saying Garnacho started to show those traits.
Yeah.
And that's why we need to be very careful, because he is becoming another Rashford. But Rashford at least bag a 30 goal season already first. Garnacho ain't reached there yet.
So Garnacho
So
Garnacho thinks he's already Cristiano Ronaldo, and somebody needs to tell him he's not.
And every
and
point,
that's
every
what I'm
point.
saying.
And that's
That's
the
why I'm
point.
saying, and that's why.
But I don't. But
gotta
that. But
protect
here's
the player.
the thing. Garnacho's attitude and Menu's attitude is like night and day, right? This Garnacho, I'm excited about because he has the potential to be something great for Manchester United in the years to come, right? But his attitude is more of like a extrovert, right? This guy is like, you know, when Garnacho celebrates, he's looking to run and sit down on banners and do the sue and what's not, right? When Kobe Menu celebrates, it's like
Yeah.
that's
So I
not
catch
a
you in
calm.
the-
That's
I
not
catch
a
you in
calm
the-
attitude,
but
right?
The example I will raise is Pedri at Barcelona. They overwork
Ooh.
that youth man to the point that he can't even catch himself fitness wise now. And that's the other thing when I look at. You don't want to put that on a young player and you overwork them to the point that you're not hearing Pedri name again.
Mm.
Then last year them talk about Pedri and Pedri was everything.
But
Pedri was
Pedri played all the games for Barcelona, and so I remember that season. Pedri played all the games for Barcelona and also played
And
all the games for Spain in the World
Yeah,
Cup.
and then went to Olympics.
both teams.
And then he went to Olympics. I'll never forget. After that, he went to
He
Olympics.
went to Olympics. Yes, he went to Olympics. Yeah. So
And
he
my
was very
my
influential.
yeah. Yeah, and my point to protect, you know, and again, Reams, JT, myself, we have different point of views in terms of the media, because the media can mash up as well. And
Yeah.
if it is that we hoping that Kobe Mano is the main outlet to provide and supply, you know, let me say forward, maybe defensively, and that's not happening, right? Maybe having maybe struggling with some injuries, but still playing the performances not at the levels it's supposed to be at, then the media are going to zone into him. And that in itself could mash up a player at that age, you know? So that's the protection, I guess, three of us, talking, the same thing, but in different ways. Where we need to protect Kobe Mano going forward.
I think the media definitely does play some aspect in regards to being biased towards their own, right? So I'm not too worried. I will be more worried if Kobe Mano was from a different country.
Yeah, he
No, but then you could watch. No, but then you could look at because then you could look at Grealish, and then you could look at, let me say, Rashford.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't see the media crying on Grealish that much though.
But Rashford is gate.
But Rashford
playing shit.
But what Grealish doing?
But at least
Grealish. I guess it's all this one. I like Grealish. I guess it's all this one.
At least Grealish is in a team that's winning.
And but he's doing nothing.
But Grealish is not the focal point. Grealish is not the focal point. Grealish is not the focal point of Manchester City, you know. Also, Grealish is English, and I can understand where you guys are coming from, right?
But
Rashford has set the precedent of not only feeding kids off the pitch and meeting Barack Obama and all that, but setting the precedent that you had a 30-goal season, 1 and 2, that you will follow up from that 30-goal season, and you did not, right?
Okay,
I'm just saying.
No, it's true, but Grealish is a £100 million signing.
Yeah.
And
I will say this here now. Whether you're bought for £100 million or £1, you still got to perform for your team. You still got to agree. Grealish
but the way the expectation is different.
Yeah.
The expectation and that is stick Anthony that began. That is stick Anthony began. We pay almost $100 million for Anthony. Right? And what Anthony doing?
Yes, and no. When you buy a player for 20 million versus 100 million, you expect more from the 100 million player, right? But at NBA, both players still got to perform.
And we get Rashford for free.
Ask yourself this question: who having a better season, Kobe Mano or Enzo Fernandez or Moise Caicedo? Who having a better season?
And but Phil, you're walking into the trap there because I'm talking about the pressure as a Manchester United player is it's surpassing, all other people, because nobody talking about Enzo, nobody talking about Caicedo,
No.
Nobody talking about them, but that reporter had the audacity to write an article about Kobe Mano
Yeah. Yeah.
and
And
comparing
Chelsea
to
played
Adam
better.
Morton.
Chelsea
Exactly.
playing better without Enzo.
Ah,
You understand? So my thing is I don't want us, you see that billing thing around players. I afraid for Kobe. I really don't want Kobe to turn out like, you know,
Yeah.
previous players who we put our pressure on. And I really want us to move away from this starboy football because that's dangerous for this team. You understand? Because everybody go feel they need to score, they need to live up to this, you know, starboy thing and that kind of pressure. I don't want Kobe. I know, and I agree with Phil. Kobe seems to be the type of player that's having head on, but it's still early days. You understand? It's still early days. You know, let me just get some comments real quick, fellas. Christian saying Pep is a great coach, but not a genius coach. Right?
I'm a
Because he
customer
never
over
goes
that
into-
earlier, but
Yeah,
I
because he
think
never
he's a
goes
genius
into-
coach as well. I think he's a genius coach as well, but go ahead. I guess it's debatable.
No. My thing. I want to give Pep he props, but you see the comparison with Fergie is what I have an issue with. Because Fergie take a non-team and build that and evolve over 25 years.
Yeah.
Evolve and adapt.
oh, I
Pep
told
has
I
always-
told people not Pep. Fergie has had 4 different teams in 25 years, and all 4 of them win league titles. Take that into
Right.
consideration as well.
Right.
Too.
Pep, I'm not taking nothing away from because I like this style of play, football Pep display. Everywhere Pep went, he dominate. So I'm taking nothing away from Pep. But you see, the thing with comparison with Fergie, I have an issue with that because Pep do what Fergie do. You know? Because he never goes into a tie as an underdog. He always has the best players and team.
He's not
And
wrong.
always mess up in cup games. All right. Simeon saying here the fact that Ahmad can keep possession under pressure with a small frame while other forwards and midfielders panic. Yeah. Ahmad had to be playing more regularly now, and I really want to see what Ten Hag will do when Rashford come back. Ahmad do enough over the past couple of games to get a next start, especially after today. All right. Junior on the inside, thanks for joining, Junior. Hard luck, fellas. Had me a little nervous, but good result. This is the Arsenal fan here, right? So he's one of the good ones, right? Christian saying here, Amrabat wasn't given the chance. He never got the chance to play. Only at 20 or 10 minutes, but he have the pace and legs. Yeah,
I don't know about the pace there. I don't know about the
But-
pace. I don't know. You look heavy on your legs to me. But go
No,
ahead.
but this is one of the issues that I have with Ten Hag. You understand? And I think JP made the point. We run so hard to get the player and you ain't get the man the opportunity, the games he needed to catch that level up form and performance, you know?
And you need that. You need that.
Yeah.
Jump through. You need a run of games.
Yeah, and we see him give it with so much other players, but he didn't get more about it.
Yeah.
Unfair, man. Unfair. Simeon saying here, Casemiro play all kind of doo-doo and still playing ahead. Yeah, and they were saying, right? He never got a chance to play with Mino. He always came on for Mino. Yeah, all that. Right? Fans are also reason Glazers will
never sell.
Yeah, Marcel and Malacia missing that list. It's so long. Yeah. Eric Lewis on the inside, thanks for joining, man. He said, I understand injuries, but for me, Ten Hag out. His sins for the season is unforgivable. Managers have been sacked for less. Right? He also
Don't for less, boy. And why I say for less? When you look at everything around Ten Hag, it wasn't stable. It's real instability the man was dealing with. If everything was stable around you and you're feeling, I would say, yeah. You know, we had to try something different because everything around you is stable. But, shit, this Manchester United has been in a mess on the moment Ten Hag reached here. We only get a little bit of stability now. But
and
anyway,
I don't know if anybody saw the interview where Ten Hag actually admitting that last season the team overachieved, and that's why the expectations so high for the second season.
Yeah.
You know, Eric also saying here the biggest of many sins is sticking with the single pivot. Yeah, and I mean we could agree. Yeah, we could agree, but I mean, you know, still disagree on other things. Simeon saying here Kobe Mino's career will be determined by the players midfield we signed this summer to play with him.
Agreed. Totally agreed.
Yeah. Fellas are watching the time, right? So I just want to touch on one last thing, right? That goal we scored, because I hear Casemiro getting real licks for that. All I really think like Casemiro fault, but I watch that and I say people wicked.
They have ones. They have ones that they're wicked because first of all, Casemiro is not a centre back. First of all, so you could forgive the man for being a little slow to come out with the offside, but it wasn't like Arsenal was pressing hard and he just lapsed. It was from a clearance that he kind of take his time and was walking out. So that's why Havertz remain onside. But Evans get walked past like a cool. So the way to be real is Evans was the cool in the situation. He get blow past too easy for that pass to Wan-Bissaka tried to make up for the run. But ultimately it's Evans I would put that.
You want to know my...
is amazing because what JP said just now is what I explained to fellas in a group today. Casemiro is partially to blame for that, but Johnny Evans, your experience at 36 years old and also playing for Manchester United versus Arsenal, you should be able to see two things. One, Casemiro is not a natural centre back. Two, you're supposed to be one of the experienced leaders in this team, so you should be able to marshal your defense up, right? The thing that JP mentioned that a lot of people does not get is that it was from a clearance.
Yeah.
It was not from from Manchester United doing build-up play, right? Or it wasn't like Manchester United was playing a long ball to Rashford or Garnacho or whoever was on the wings and they're running onto it and the team looking to move up together as well too, right? Johnny Evans was an escort service today. Oh, but you're supposed to show them on your weaker foot. Yeah, you're also supposed to cut down the space as well too, right? So kudos for not showing Kai Havertz on his left foot, but you gave that guy so much space. That guy could have gone from being a footballer to an astronaut, sign up for NASA space program, and still come back and score a goal or provide the assist for Trossard, right? So if I had to do a percentage, Casemiro was at 15% fault for the goal. Johnny Evans, 85%. Totally.
But here I see it, right? Nico, I know you go jump in just now.
No, don't comment on me on that one. I didn't see that. I didn't go back and watch.
I blame Bissaka.
You blaming Wan-Bissaka?
Yeah, because here it right. The transition, it took some time, right? Because so probably Casemiro should have come out, but he wasn't expecting that the forward line would have lose the ball so quickly and easily, right? So the ball came back, and I don't know who it is made the pass to Havertz, but Bissaka had enough time to track that runner because he was inside. And then not only that, you even talking to your player to say, Miro, man coming, nothing. They coming carelessly. The man not in front of Casemiro, the man behind Casemiro. Trossard coming behind Casemiro. That telling me that is Bissaka, man.
Yeah.
Bissaka supposed to be watching that, man.
Wan-Bissaka don't talk, and Wan-Bissaka doesn't have that sort of like.
We had to move on from Bissaka. No, I can't. Yeah.
No, I totally agree with you guys. I'm just saying Wan-Bissaka is not type to communicate.
Yeah.
No, but what I'm saying is Trossard playing left. That is your marker. That is your mark.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Casemiro cut in. He watching Havertz and Evans. The ball cutting Evans did we were supposed to do, but the ball passed Casemiro because remember what Casemiro standing up. If he took his foot, that could be our own goal. So plenty times a defender will just let it run. Unless you know you're coming and wrong it so you could get it out. Most times you'll just let it run. I expected Bissaka to be there to tracking Trossard. Trossard come there clean, easy tapping, and then Bissaka throwing the frame. So for me earlier, I hear people blaming Casemiro, and when I watch the goal back, I say, but how did Casemiro fall by? Alright, probably play Havertz onside. Alright? But Bissaka was supposed to be talking. The soccer was supposed to be on him and there, and I mean, probably.
I can be honest
I
with you
don't know.
guys. I don't know. I don't know if Wan-Bissaka know English. I honestly don't know. I have
No.
never heard a Wan-Bissaka interview yet.
Yeah.
Honestly,
we had a Wan-Bissaka for sure.
Yeah.
But I like Kwambala, but you know,
Yeah.
and when he came on, he have aggression with him, and with his aggression, he is win the ball, you know, and I think that is what Ten Hag likes. You know, I like it as well. You know, I think he can be a solid backup. But
I was just about to ask you a question with regards to Kwambala, and I like Kwambala as well. Would you send Kwambala on loan or keep him as a
no.
Okay.
Backup for sure.
Okay.
Backup for sure.
No. I was agreeing with him because like at the end of the day, Kwambala shows that kind of aggressiveness / hunger.
And
right?
that was Ten Hag want because Ten Hag want to win the ball high up the pitch.
At the end
need
of the day,
aggressive players to do that.
They got three centre backs. We got to sell or get rid of. You know, we got three centre backs. We got to get rid of. So
I think we need 2 centre backs.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
I think
to the one Bremer to the one somebody else.
and we have Kwambala as a backup, and I think we could.
I hear a lot of people talking about this whole Branthwaite fella from Everton.
Nah, Ineos talking about paying 100 million for no player from Everton earlier. Ineos, they're not coming around. Ineos. Watch me, everybody else do from before. Whoever was there before, Richard Allen and whoever it is, they would have spent that money. But them no Ineos not going to spend that money. Ineos are going to cut from FA Cup tickets and traveling. You're going to spend 100 million for Branthwaite from Everton. That's not going to happen. And you know you can get a better, more experienced player for way less.
Yeah.
But then keeping all of them overpriced players who don't want to sell United, who only selling United to already or selling to United already, staying already. Or going somewhere else for quarter the money.
Correct.
Because it's a Todibo, it's a Bremer, and then fellas, them prices is what kind of 40-45 million for me to go and pay 100 million for Branthwaite.
But yeah, but I just saying, right? If Branthwaite was to go to City, right? City are paying more than 40 million for Branthwaite, and you go see that deal happening.
But he can flop. He can flop at City as well too.
No, I mean, just as with the Shooty centre back they buy from Everton.
Stones.
John Stones, right? They'll give him time to develop as well. They'll give him time to develop, but they're not paying more than 40 or 50 million for Branthwaite. They're not paying that. And it's so easy that deal go up. All I hear is Branthwaite signing for City, deal done.
Quick.
Yeah, he had for United now. The whole out.
That's one thing
80 million, 100 million for Branthwaite.
That's one thing we got to fix this summer. We got to learn to get deals. Don't get me wrong. There are football fans out there that expect deals to be as quick as like FIFA, right? You put in a bid, the opposition accepts. You go to the settings and transfers, negotiate with the player. Boom, you deal done within 5 minutes. There's some fans that think that that's how deals are done. No way, it's not, right? But then on the flip side, why are we taking 20 to 30 to 40 days to 2 months?
Because we don't have a plan before the season ends. That is why.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
And everything is off a whim.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Because by now... Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Nico.
No, I say by now, we're supposed to know who we want and already talking to the agents already. By now. Yeah. So all the other teams, when you see deals happening so early, like Liverpool don't know who they wanted last season already, which are quick Liverpool to the midfield.
Yeah.
Right? So from now, we're supposed to know who we want. We're supposed to be talking to agents long ago. Right?
Yeah,
to get
the situation, to know whether, yeah.
Exactly.
But what I think might be a little bit of a issue is the Euros. Because anytime we have an international tournament during the summer, it is kind of affect the how deals... Yeah. So I feel that might be a kind of issue for us, but I do think, at least I hope that, deals don't drag on like how it has been in the past now, So
I guess that would definitely be a telltale sign in terms of how this Ineos group, doing their business.
Yeah. So guys, I think we at the end here, right? Olivia Newcastle on Wednesday. But I mean, Newcastle are really doing nothing, because they're coming Old Trafford. Newcastle are really doing nothing. I feel once we
Newcastle doing nothing.
no, because the last couple games, they're really.
Manchester United they played, so they'll be doing something.
Dream. Hey.
They will too, no.
Because
I seen goals.
The draw against Brighton. Well, they beat Burnley. Everybody beaten Burnley except we.
They were
Beat
telling
Sheffield. Crystal Palace beat them. Yeah, boy. Wait now, boy. Yeah, boy. They do good, boy. They do good.
Hey, no, boy.
Jeez.
There's problems. There's real problems.
I got a question for you guys. Any of you guys attend the Legends match?
Yeah.
Yeah. Me and Nico was there.
Yeah.
Okay. That was good scenes, or it is what it is.
I mean, well, both. I mean, for me, they were nice family kind of vibes. I guess I enjoyed from that standpoint. Seeing like Kaká, Rivaldo, who was, I guess, definitely one of everybody's favorite. As much as he was playing, like, he growing gone, Cafu.
But it's a Legends match.
Cafu.
No, if you see how Rivaldo look, Rivaldo look like he couldn't open his legs wider than that boy.
Yeah. Cafu fit as a fiddle. Cafu real fit.
Kaká too, boy. Kaká still having real thing, boy.
Kaká should still have a little thing. But who impressed me the most was Kelvin Jack, boy.
Yeah, Kelvin Jack. Yeah, Kelvin Jack. He pulled off some big saves, boy.
Yeah, but it was a nice outing.
The goals were good. The timing of the goals were good. Because I mean, we thought the local team, they scored the fifth goal late in the game, so we thought the game done there.
Yeah.
And a nice little play come from the Legends after that, and Molino scored a cracker.
Yeah.
So all the goals were good goals. I mean, it's a Legends game, so you ain't gonna expect no kind of intensity, and it was kind of walking pace, but the goals were good.
Yeah, a nice outing.
Yeah, it was alright. It wasn't bad. It was just Rivaldo, but oh god, I was like, what wrong with this man?
I see make a last burst down in the dregs. You see that one, he make a burst, like he tried to score, he had a cut back, he was hoping to get that, then come and realize that he done there. He can't make so much done. But I mean, that was growing up, that was one of our favorite players,
Rivaldo.
The three R's to me was Ronaldo, Rivaldo, and Romario, boy. That was the three R's to me, boy, growing up.
But I think if Ronaldinho was here, it would have really add a lot more.
By far.
But them tickets would have sold from early because they to me was sold out other than the covered section. They was rammed because when they tell people to clear the aisles, they had nowhere for people to go because all these people taking that to open up a side where that had some barricade on for people to it had a big turnout.
Yeah. I think nothing could beat back the turnout for the Bahrain game yet, because the entire stadium was full to capacity. The entire stadium for that game, So yeah. Well, guys, I think that brings us to the end of the pod. I mean, you never think we lost our game today, but we've come to expect it. And it was just more of damage control than anything else.
We kind of numbed it a little bit too.
Yeah.
The expectations so under the white line of the road, as they call it.
Wait, now we lost 1-0. What?
Yeah, boy, we did well. We did well. No one after that. That's how small teams just think. Wait now. Manchester in between 1-0. Hey, we do well good. You understand? So right now, Arsenal in between 1-0. Hey, we do well good.
Yeah, we do good. No embarrassment.
Small team mentality.
Pressure. We hope by next season that will change,
Yeah. That's the beat people and beat people bad too. This 1-0
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
and 2-0 we scraping. We had to beat people, boy.
Yeah, everybody else playing 5 and 6 past men, and we
That's what I'm saying,
struggling
yeah.
to beat a team
Scraping.
4-3 and
Yeah, this season is only 1 goal margin we winning games by. Nah, next season can't be so. I tell you that happening next season, Tenang gotta go. Tenang gotta go.
Yeah. Jody was in the Legends match too, link up with Jody. Jody was there too. So fellas, again, I think we at the end, guys, don't forget to like and share. We also on YouTube, so don't forget to go over there and subscribe if you haven't already. It's ready to get and promote All in All United. The vibes just be nice. We're gonna be here again on Wednesday to review the Newcastle game. And even if we lost, it'll still be a good vibe. We go find some positives, to talk about. However, it is good. So Nico, JP, and Phil. Fellas, thanks again. And guys, we'll see you all on the next one. Have a good night.
Mhm.
Good night.